Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the first match of the Tata IPL 2024. And even though I'm smiling on the outside, I am clearly not smiling on the inside. And I'm sure Sriram and Vivan, who is joining us today, are extremely happy. Sriram's also busting out a couple of moves. A lot of banter was going place in our WhatsApp group, and Sriram seems to be carrying on that momentum. So I'll start with Sriram. Uh, must be elated, Sriram. Nice way to start off the match.
I have no words for you. 2 minutes silence. I have to maintain 2 minutes silence. Bro, is that even a performance from RCB? Seriously, it was a no contest. I mean, we expected a thrilling of a contest, bro. With CSK, we all know it will go down to the wire because CSK have the knock of going into the last over and finishing it in the last ball or something. But it was like, I don't know. It's purely
Were you
one-sided,
expecting
bro.
Tony to come out?
Yeah. The last ball Dubey was facing, no. I wish it was a LBW and I wish he
He
had
couldn't
gone in.
come out.
I mean, yeah, it's
Right.
okay, but yeah.
Yeah, great game for CSK. Vivan, your thoughts? I mean, as a MI fan, I'm sure you were looking closely at this match, given the fact that you would be facing them soon. So, what are your thoughts on the initial thoughts on the match?
Yeah, so basically the first match they wanted to be a thriller. That's why they took CSK and RCB. Usually, they choose teams which have played the last year's final, which was CSK and GT. But they brought RCB. It was like challengers versus the defending champions, and it was a complete
Challengers.
one-sided match. Like Sriram
Okay.
mentioned, it was not that much of a thriller like we expected it to be. And I think apart from that partnership from DK and Anuj Rawat and a couple of bowling performances. It was all CSK, all-round performance by CSK, and the home dominance continues. CSK continue to dominate
Absolutely.
RCB
I
and
think
Chepauk.
The
the last
last
time
time
RCB won
RCB
a
won
match,
in exactly in Chepauk was
2008.
in
absolutely. I'm sure
2008.
you remind us of that fact.
2008.
Yeah, please go ahead, Sriram.
Yeah, it was in 2008 when Anil Kumble was captaining RCB. The same day today, Anil Kumble was in the studio and they were bantering him. The last day we were won, it was in 2008. It was so
I
fun to
think
watch. But
I
yeah,
think
it
I know
was.
I know a little bit about how Anil Kumble feels being in the WhatsApp group that we all have. But Vivan, coming to the start of the match of the first innings, I think Faf du Plessis, the way he started off, looked like maybe we're in for 200. What went wrong for RCB?
What
Exactly,
went
a
right?
typical RCB, a batting collapse. It
And
was a batting
sorry,
collapse.
Vivan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vivan. I'll ask you a question, please, Vivan.
Yeah. So it was a typical RCB batting collapse. I think Faf du Plessis started very well, and Kohli was standing on the non-strike. It was Faf du Plessis who was facing all the deliveries, and I think he was batting beautifully. He started off aggressively, like you said, expecting a 200. But it was typical RCB. It was Mustafizur's brilliance, which came on, and it was a typical batting collapse by RCB. We talk about RCB having a big six, the top six batsmen that they have are absolutely daunting for the opposition. But and you expect in Chepauk spinners to be great, but you saw Mustafizur come in and take 2 wickets in the same over. He has that knack. He has those stock balls, the slower balls, that variations. Completely deceived and got 4 wickets in 2 overs. He was 4 for 7. Completely used his weapons as artillery on that pitch, and RCB batting lineup was completely deceived by Mustafizur. The
Absolutely.
best
I
show.
think very subtly Vivan put a typical batting collapse by RCB. I don't know how he came to a typical batting collapse, but I kind of understand. I think they've been doing this a lot of while. And Sriram, coming to you from a Chennai fan perspective,
Hmm.
first match captaining for a relatively new captain. I mean, he's captained in the Asian games, and
T20.
has some.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the Maharashtrian
Hmm.
team also, he's captain in the white ball. Great signs for Ruturaj. I mean, he had one of the best captains in his armory to help him out. But a
Yeah.
couple of even talking about Mustafizur, getting him was a great move. So, what are your
Exactly.
first impressions on the captain Ruturaj Gaikwad?
I mean, it's a great thing that many people were biased towards Dhoni should have held the realm until he is there, and people were like he should have. It's a right decision to give this to Ruturaj Gaikwad. I'm in the this sector. I'm in the sector where Ruturaj, the decision made by Dhoni to give the captaincy to Ruturaj when he is there to help him, it's the right decision because whenever he has any doubts or something, always Dhoni is there he is keeping there. So he is always there to help him out. And initially when he came for the toss up, the crowd were roaring for him. So it totally feels like the fans all were so happy that he is in the helm now after Dhoni giving that the great helm to him. And it is a great move, as you mentioned. He After initial 2 overs, 3 overs, he was like asking Mustafizur to pad it up, ready, and keep ready to bowl the next over. And funny thing is, Mustafizur hadn't had this kind of a bowling performance ever in his T20 career.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
this is the best bowling player he had in the throughout IPL he has ever played. Chennai factor is real, I think so, bro.
I think it's less than Chennai factor. It's the Dhoni factor. But
Yeah,
I think Dhoni has a great ability to convert those normal players. You see Shivam Dubey, you
exactly.
see Mahesh Tikshna, who's not playing, or even Patirana.
Mm.
All those
To
players
an
were
extent, we
really.
can also say Rahane, bro.
Rahane also, he's a new
Yeah,
old
yeah, I
different
would
player.
like to add on to
Mm.
that. So, like, Rahane was always a 120, 125, 130 strike rate batsman. And the
Everyone.
last season, we
Mm.
saw him
True,
strike
true.
at 170. It was like this Rahane 2.0. Is this you, Ajinkya Rahane? But it is
Like
like MS Dhoni. Yeah,
everyone was
I what
laughing when CSK took Ajinkya Rahane and Shivam Dubey in the auction.
exactly. And they were the two players who completely turned it around last season. And it was like Ashwin had mentioned that MS Dhoni is like a director and he just picks actors for certain role. So even for Shivam Dubey, he completely transformed him into a spin hitting beast. Last season, he was in the 7 to 15th over, this middle overs, he was absolutely unbelievable, striking the very high strike rate. Even like you
35
mentioned,
Absolutely, I think.
sixes
Last
last season. Shubham Dubey.
yeah,
Yeah, I think,
Patirana,
and once
Deepak
he's got
Char.
retired from the test scene, he's a completely different player. But Vivan, I'll keep you going. Just take us through Dinesh Karthik and especially Anuj Rawat. We spoke about how CSK came prepared for the top four, and clearly Rawat came out of the syllabus. And just the way he was able to play those short balls was purely, in my opinion, just a whole game in itself. So, your thoughts on Anuj Rawat, and it's the first game. So, going forward, a great sign for him, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you put it really well. Anuj Rawat was out of the syllabus. I mean, you can mention Dinesh Karthik in the top six, good batting lineup,
Yeah.
but Anuj Rawat did come out of syllabus, and it was RCB were in a very precarious position when you lose 4 wickets in just two Mustafizur Rahman's overs. I mean, they were in a complete poor position, and you saw these DK and Rawat going slow at the start, and then once they got going, I mean, they completely got to that. They propelled RCB to that very competitive total. 173 was a very good competitive total in Chepauk. And I think Dinesh Karthik last season we saw him play this kind of finisher's role. And today he had Anuj Rawat for support. I think Anuj Rawat was striking the ball really well. He was middling it. He was so confident. I mean, that partnership itself propelled RCB to 173. Otherwise, they were not getting any closer to that.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, I
the point
slightly
you
differ. Just a point I want to mention here. I want to slightly differ with what Vivan said because in the post match, not in the post match, in the mid match interview, when DK was talking, he was telling we were initially thinking that this Chennai pitch is going to be a typical Chennai pitch where 170, 160 might be a par score. But today the pitch was so good for batting, and he was like, I think we were 20 runs short. They had posted
Yeah.
174, but DK felt that it was 20 runs short. I think he is right in the end. The pitch
Yeah,
was really
Yeah,
good.
it
absolutely.
was short, but compared to
Hmm.
the position RCB were in, it was a good total. You
It
can
was a
Yeah, yeah,
mention.
yeah.
competitive score. And see, a lot of cricketers turn commentators after playing cricket. DK was a person who's turned a cricketer after being a commentator. So I think we can bank on his analysis. And he was absolutely right. They turned up 20
Yep.
runs short. And even if they had got the 20 runs, Sriram, take us through the initial part of the second innings, the way Rituraj came out. Honestly, I mean, if you remember, I was putting out that banter because I thought Shiraj would get him in the first over. And I said that not because as an RCB fan, I thought the pressure of captaincy would get
Hmm.
to Ruturaj, but the way he played with Ravindra, Rachin Ravindra, and they got together and they gave that opening partnership, much like Faf. How
Exactly.
crucial was that for Chennai in this match?
I mean, the first ball, Ruturaj Gaikwad faced Siraj. It was a four. I mean,
Yeah,
that showed, the character and the motivation he has after becoming the captain, and he has zero, this pressure, zero the weight on his shoulder or in his head that I am the captain. I have to just have this team on my back. Nothing there. It was total calm. normal Gaikwad performance, but it was a very good ball that that got him from Yash Dayal. It was really good ball, the corridor of uncertainty, and then that great start from Rachin Ravindra. It's a scam that we got him for 1.6 crores.
I
Really,
still can't believe it. I still don't
exactly.
believe it. You got it.
I
After the
can't
kind of
believe
World Cup he had,
exactly. And after Rahane coming in and typically usual his 140 strike rate, even the timing he faced some shots was tremendous. I mean, it's
absolutely.
it's class
I mean,
apart, Rahane.
Conway getting injured was a huge blow for CSK
Exactly,
because
huge
in the
blow.
last season, it was Conway who was consistently giving those 50 plus scores. And in Rachin Ravindra, they just had a like to like Kiwi to Kiwi replacement. And they even had that left hand right hand combination going. And Rachin Ravindra has been absolutely, once he's shot in the circuit, he's been great. He's been had a great World Cup, great Test series. Rachin Ravindra, Indian conditions, he was great. And Ruturaj Gaikwad is Mr. Consistent for CSK. And I think that's why they've given him the captaincy because they wanted to look for someone who is going to be a CSK player for a long time. And it was Ruturaj Gaikwad who was going to do that. And this season he has MS Dhoni with him so that they can, next season, mostly MS Dhoni is not going to play. So it is like Ruturaj's turn to take over. So they say Rutu Raj is beginning. The reign of Ruturaj Gaikwad has started.
Did you make that up or did you read that somewhere?
Yeah, I just made that up.
They're
I
not
mean,
bad. Bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's really good. I mean,
absolutely. And
as
yeah,
Gautam was talking about, the CSK batting, the depth of the CSK batting order is really good. That is the reason, CSK will always up on the top wherever they play or whenever they play. And imagine with the RCB team struggling to bank on a bowler. Imagine a guy like Mitchell Santner is sitting in the wings for CSK and not getting a chance, not even in the impact player list. I mean, this shows the bench strength of the CSK, and that is purely the reason they are dominating.
And
absolutely,
Samir
absolutely.
Rizvi
And
and Dhoni were yet to bat today.
Exactly.
yeah, they had two still people. And I think I'm sure both of you would be really happy with this point. I think the two most successful teams in IPL have shown why they have that amount of bench strength. And even if they have a player who's injured, they have somebody who's up there to filling them up, which I think was something that RCB lacked today. So going into RCB's bowling, something that I noticed, guys, I'll leave it out. Anybody can take this, but something that I noticed was that most of their bowlers were from the winning team of Gujarat Titans. Maybe the think tank talk that they can replicate it here. But what Gujarat Titans had and what RCB don't have is that one strike bowler they can bank on. For that matter, Siraj is one person who's been doing that for them, but he's had an off day today. A couple of really bad bouncers, and it didn't really work out for him. So being the first match, and they have Lockie Ferguson, they have Reece Topley, and all that. So going forward, who do you think or do you see any changes or because I really feel this bowling lineup has nothing. There's no bite in the bowling lineup. So what do you think they have to do different going forward in the tournament?
There was a lot of talk when RCB's bowling being weak. I think there was a lot of talk that RCB got it wrong in the auction itself because in the IPL you're going to be playing in Chennai, Lucknow, and Kolkata. These are spinning friendly tracks, and you need quality spin bowling. And they've banked too much on this one. They've banked too much on Karan
Siraj,
Sharma and
Karan Sharma,
Mayank
the spin
Dagar.
department, yeah.
And if they come good, then it is great. But if they don't, it's worrying signs for RCB. And you even mentioned Reece Topley, you even mentioned the Lockie Ferguson, etc.
Okay,
But
sir.
they have got only one bowler to play because they've got Faf, or they've got Green, and they've got Maxwell. So
Yeah.
only one overseas bowler can play. So that is something that RCB have to deal with as a weaker bowling lineup, you can say.
I mean, my personal opinion, they should have played Reece Topley in place of Alzari Joseph because traditionally Chennai Piss has something for the slow deliveries and these slow bowlers. That is the reason why Mustafizur was so effective today. So if
Absolutely.
Reese probably comes in, no, he might swing in some slowers and mix it up with some fast bowling, and I think it might have worked out, but it's all high insight, and I think they missed out on something when Dubey comes in. They thought like we should go for counter him with short ball deliveries with Cameron Green and Alsari sort of coming in and hitting the deck. I think that didn't work out in the long pace because at the time Mayank Dagger to an extent was bowling really well, and he was in the economy of like 4-4. And Karan Sharma was also keeping in the wickets. So I think they missed out on that thing, which trying to counter something and failed out on the main thing.
Absolutely. I think Royal Challengers Bangalore looked lacking in all departments today, except for the way they opened and way they ended things.
What do you think,
I-
Gersham? What do you think they missed out
enough,
on
enough,
today?
please. Please, no, I'm not answering. I'm done answering for 17 years. That's
I
why
think they should.
today I am the
I think they should. Try and ask the women's team to come and play, because I think we can expect some fight from them. To be honest.
This is getting cut. This is getting cut from the original video. Anyways, guys, that move means that we move on to the next segment, which is the prediction. And this season we've come with a little change in the prediction, guys. We're gonna keep track of how many
Yes,
predictions you give.
exactly.
So please be careful when you give your predictions, because we will have a tally, and at the end of
Yeah,
the
and
season
guys,
we will
when
see.
we are predicting, and there will be this thing coming in the stat division, and it will show that
Yeah,
who's getting what points based on their
yeah,
predictions coming next.
which clearly means that I will
Yeah.
be beating Sriram. At least this way, at least Bengaluru will beat Chennai, hopefully in this IPL. But yeah, so tomorrow's matches, guys, it's a weekend. We've come to a double header, the first double header of the season. Given that today Chennai has won, your two calls. Tomorrow Punjab's taking on Delhi and Kolkata's taking on Hyderabad. So I want your predictions for both these matches. Your two winners for two matches.
For
My
me, it is
thing.
going to be okay. You go first.
And let's give
Go
Sriram.
ahead.
He's won today's match. No. It's Chennai is 1v1.
Yeah, Shriram, Shriram.
Please, let's
I
go.
mean, the first match I will go for a DC win, because Rishabh Pant also coming in. I think we all know Punjab is not that much of a great side in my
Yes.
opinion. So I think DC will have an edge over there. And in KKR versus SRH, it's going to be a tough game. I think I'm gonna give an edge to SRH.
Right. 25 crores for nothing. That's why 25 crores only bola. We won your take.
Yeah. My prediction is actually same actually, because I'm going to also go with Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad, because obviously Delhi Capitals have strengthened their squad a bit, and SRH with Cummins coming in, they've got Henrik Klassen, they've got a good on paper SRH have got a really good team, so I think they'll come out stronger for KKR.
Your prediction?
Yeah, for the lack of argument, I'm going to go ahead with Punjab and Kolkata. And also, given the fact that I'm an RCB fan, entire life I've been an underdog. So even today, tomorrow's matches, I feel these two people are the underdogs. So I will be taking their side, and let's see. I think one thing that we can be for sure is going to be a cracker of a contest. I think the starting match wasn't so much, unfortunately for me, and fortunately for Shiram. But I'm sure RCB will come back. We will see you in Chinnaswamy though. I will end this
Yeah.
show on that note. We will absolutely see you in Chinnaswamy. And so guys, that brings us to the end of today's episode. I'm sure you liked it, to watch it as much as we like putting it up for you. We'll come to you throughout this season and lots more. Please keep watching, like, share, and subscribe. And thank you, and see you tomorrow.